what I was trying to explain to you earlier, right? The linguistic connection of Azteca and Hebrew. When you break down the word as and Teca, the word as is a Hebrew word for meaning time or of that time. This is like a slide that I created. Teca, as you can see the Hebrew lettering in there too. I need to get better with my Hebrew, but the word Teca in Hebrew means what? To encamp or sit down. Azteca, the combination of the Hebrew words, suggesting a linguistic connection between the so-called Mexican, the Aztecans, and the Hebrews, who are Israelites. Right? So now we got to ask ourselves, here you go, Cap. We got to ask ourselves, how did the Mexicans get to the land of Mexico? That's the important question, son. Because if we had Hebrew, and there was some connection with the so-called Mexican and the Israelites, so don't that mean that they come from the east coast of the world, right? So let's prove that according to the Bible. Let's get Deuteronomy first, right? 28. Let's go straight to 68. Let me get that sign. I got a couple more minutes for you, son. Right? I'm gonna just go straight to the strong points, right? You know what happened in 1492? You know about that history? This is also.
I know a little bit because I took college and stuff.
That's fine. Yeah. That's important history to know, right? So in 1492, you know who Christopher Columbus is, right? Yeah. Christopher Columbus was one of the reasons why they journeyed to the western hemisphere of the world. In that time, they believe, which they probably still believe, that the world ends at the western hemisphere, that there's nothing out there.
Fair use disclaimer. This video may include copyrighted material used for educational, commentary, or research purposes under fair use. We do not intend to infringe on any copyrights. All rights belong to their respective owners.
get the Apocrypha. Let me get the Apocrypha, second Esdras. Right? They thought they were going to fall off. You can see that in the movie called 1492, that Christopher Columbus went to a documentation or a book, for lack of better terms, and found out that there's actually people that dwell there. We're going to read what Christopher Columbus read, right? So he went up to the Queen of Spain and convinced her to give him boats and money to travel, because people didn't want to travel there because it's a long travel, about a year and a half, right? So he convinced them how? By going into the Bible, right? So in 1492, they say Christopher Columbus discovered the world, but we all know that's a lie. There was people there already. How did those people get there? We're about to answer that question now.
Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 40.
So just to give you some context of what we're reading here, all of this was put together in one book. These are just books that they removed from the King James Bible, right? See that word Apocrypha? That's a Greek word for hidden books. There's so much information here that they don't want you to read. That's why the Catholic Church took these books out of the Bible. Why did they do that? They all belong together. So now we're about to read something that was in the Bible. Right? Go ahead.
Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 40.
Come on.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Right. So in the time of Hosea the king, as you can see here, you're going to see Northern Kingdom, and you're going to see that sign say Southern Kingdom. These 12 tribes, they split up for indifferences, for many things. A lot of what they call the Northern tribes, the house of Israel, they started going into idolatry and started worshiping idols. And the other tribes were not with that, which they call that, what the scriptures call the house of Judah. So they separated themselves from all the other tribes that were falling in idolatry. So you have the Northern Kingdom and you have the Southern Kingdom. So right now, when it says the 10 tribes, it's talking about Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun. Joseph had 2 sons that later on the Most High gave them 2 blessings, which is called Manasseh and Ephraim, and that's it. Those 10 tribes, go ahead. And remember, what we're reading, Issachar is on that boat, right? I just want you to point that out. Go ahead.
Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land.
Go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So they wanted to leave the heathen, which means the other nations that were in power at that time, right, to do what?
And go forth into a further country.
So they wanted to go to another area, go ahead.
A further country, where never mankind dwelt.
Where what?
Where never mankind dwelt.
And the school of thought that a lot of the Spaniards had, right, is that nobody ever dwelt in the Western Hemisphere. They thought that the world ends. Go ahead.
They might there keep their statutes.
That they what?
That they might there keep their statutes.
Statutes means the commandments, like their rules and regulations. So they basically wanted to leave these people that were bad influence, and they wanted to go to another land where nobody ever dwelt to keep God's laws. Read.
Which they never kept in their own land.
Which they never kept in their own land because they was messing up. Right? Go ahead.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So now the river Euphrates, I wish I had a map. Is there a map on that slide of the river Euphrates, Captain Marshall? So the river Euphrates, Sammy, I ain't trying to lose you, I'm almost done. Right. The river Euphrates is out there on the eastern hemisphere of the world, right? So now this river, they're going to use this river to travel where they want to go. Go ahead.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. Mm-hmm. For the Most High then shewed signs for them.
Right, so God showed them signs to be able to travel on this river, because it wasn't going to be like a peaceful travel. It was going to be crazy, but the Most High the scripture's going to say it.
And held still the flood.
Meaning he held the waters in the storm still so the 10 tribes can travel. Go ahead.
Till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half.
So it took a year and a half for them to get from this area into, go ahead.
And the same region is called Asrith.
Fair use disclaimer. This video may include copyrighted material used for educational, commentary, or research purposes under fair use. We do not intend to infringe on any copyrights. All rights belong to their respective owners.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land. Whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. So came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into further country, where never mankind dwelt. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely 1.5 years. And the same region is called Asaroth. Asaroth, Newfoundland.
That was in the Bible. This is a book they took out the Bible. A lot of scholars, like white scholars, Jewish scholars, they read this and they go into history and they use this to prove that the Latinos and the so-called Mexicans are Israelites, right? So now we made it to this land and we're dwelling here. We're already there. That's why Christopher Columbus, now this is where history plays a part now. We all know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. There was people already there. This tells us that how the people got there, right? And then when they went over there, right, they started enslaving us. But this is why Christopher Columbus was able to be successful what he did, and all the other people like Cortez and all the other conquistadors, right? Go to Deuteronomy.
Hey, what's good, family? This is Captain Kazak from D-Law Design, coming to you with some important news. Now, I know some of you guys want to see some hot topics in classroom settings, right? If so, hey, you're in the right place. So D-Law Design in Port St. Lucie will be going live on YouTube every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're in the Port St. Lucie area, Fort Myers, or Palm Beach area, and would like to come to class, hey, hit us up, either on the gram or on YouTube. Hopefully I get to see y'all next Saturday, and shalom.
Show you why we're in this condition that we're in today. Why ICE is doing what ICE is doing, why Trump is doing what he's doing, alligator Alcatraz, all of that.
Alligator Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, right? All of that is happening now because of this. Give me the book of Deuteronomy 28 and read verse 1.
Deuteronomy 28.
If you ask for context, so just give me a few more minutes. I'm gonna give you. This is gonna be. I'm gonna land my plane here. I just want to give you a little bit of understanding so you can know who the scriptures is talking about. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So pause right there. The scripture said, if you listen. Hold that, give me Deuteronomy 1:1. Let's see who Moses was talking to, right? Because everything got to have, everything, it has to be accurate. The Bible wasn't talking to everybody. Moses was talking to a specific group of people. Let's see who he was talking to.
Deuteronomy 1 verse 1.
Bring it out.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So Moses spoke these words unto all Israel. Who's Israel? The 12 tribes, the 12 sons of Jacob. So not the Chinaman, not the Arab man, not the white man, not the Hindu man, the Israelites. Right now, I'm not even going to use these labels that they labeled us later. He's talking to the Israelites. Go ahead.
Didn't you just say that there was 2 tribes that they were?
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, you said there was 12 tribes.
This
two,
one-
of them, 2 of them were doing something else, and the other.
No, I didn't want to confuse it. So Joseph, right? He ended up giving the blessing. The Most High God told him to give his blessing unto to his 2 sons, because Joseph played a major role in the history of Israel, right? So Joseph later on becomes 2 tribes. He becomes the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh. So right now, he becomes so basically what you do when Manasseh and Ephraim came into the picture, you don't no longer put Joseph or Dan on the list anymore. So throughout the scriptures, you don't really hear about Dan or Joseph no more. So that's part of the mystery. This list, this chart, is focusing on Jacob's sons, not necessarily Joseph's sons. So in the scriptures, it said that Joseph's sons shall become like one of the tribes, like Reuben and Simeon, right? So I don't want to derail you off of that. I just mentioned that to show you that they were part of Ephraim and Manasseh were part of the 10 tribes that traveled to America. So Moses is talking to the Israelites. Go back to Deuteronomy and read that again.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 1.
We know.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
So the analogy that I'm about to use is the analogy of a parent and their children, right? So check me out. Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day,
Right?
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So God said, if the children of Israel keep his commandments and listen to everything he say, he's gonna put them above all nations. Meaning you're gonna be that dude. You're gonna be that dude. You're gonna be that man, right? You're gonna be that top dog, right? So just like your parent will talk to the children and be like, listen, if you follow my rules and regulations, I'll give you gifts, I'll give you an allowance, I'll allow you to go outside. But if you don't listen, what happens? Right, jump to verse 15. That's exactly right, Sammy. So now our Heavenly Father, God, is telling us to follow these rules and regulations so you can be higher than Elon Musk. So you can be higher than Donald Trump. But if you don't, these are the ramifications. Read.
Verse 15. But
So verses 2 through 14, this chapter I call it the gift and the curse. So when you listen to God, he gives you the gifts. 15 all the way down is the curses. When you don't listen is what 15 and 68. So I'm gonna point out a couple things that correlate with this. Everything you see on this sign was already prophesied in what we're about to read. So I'm gonna just pinpoint the big ones. Go ahead.
verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Is your father, your mom still? What's their name? What's your pop's name?
Same name, Samuel.
Sammy. Yo, Sammy Senior, Sammy Junior. If you don't listen to my rules and regulations, this is what's gonna happen to you. Go ahead.
Wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because what it means to listen to the voice of God is to keep his commandments, to keep the rules and regulations that he gave Moses. Go ahead.
To observe to do all his commandments.
Go ahead.
And his statutes.
Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day.
Come on.
That all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
Sammy, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad.
It's a bad thing. God is telling the children of Israel, he's telling Moses to tell the children of Israel, if they don't listen to me, all these things are going to happen to you. And now we're about to read the things. We're not going to read all of them, but everything there is the bad thing. Go ahead.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
These curses shall come upon us as a nation and overtake us. These things that's on this sign overtook us. Right? Go ahead.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So the first thing they went into is, go ahead.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
In the what?
In the field.
This is what they had our brothers and sisters doing in the fields, and they still doing it to this day. Like my brother Captain Mashal was talking about, they're only paying our people $20 an hour. They paying our people $8 an hour to go pick all this fruit. You don't see now, they got TikToks all over and Instagram videos talking about ever since ICE came through, nobody does the work now. Right? Because them jokers can't go out there and do it. That's a curse. That's not a good thing. We out there working 12 hours an hour to make pennies. That's a curse. Go ahead.
Hey, what's good, family? Peace and blessings. This is your beloved Captain Kazak from D-Line Design coming back to you with some good news. So, do you want to know if we have a service, a school, or either a place we congregate? Of course we do. Don't panic. We got you covered. So, D-Line Design headquarters will be having service every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. So, if you live anywhere in Broward or either Miami or Homestead and want to come to class, we got you. Hit us up on the ground, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Hopefully I get to see you guys next Shabbat, and Shalom.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right, so meaning what? Your basket, your like businesses, your stores, but also your families. Because our children is like fruit. Right, so the Most High said, God said, if you don't listen to me, cursed shall be your children. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
The fruit of thy body, that's the one.
And the fruit of thy
The
land.
next two scriptures, then I'm going to jump to one more, and then that's it.
Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
You shall serve who?
Thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
Is enemy your friend? Who's our enemies now? Matter of fact, that's the wrong question. Who was our enemies then? The conquistadors.
Yeah, it was
The Spaniards.
the Portuguese.
Right. Because later on, our people, like the indigenous live out there, but the ones who run those lands are the Spaniards. They're our enemies because they did this to us. So check what this says.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So if we don't listen to God, we're going to serve our enemies in want of all these things. Not only during this time, still today, Sammy, if I need clothing, who I need to go to? The store. Who owns the stores? It ain't Garcia. It ain't Rodriguez. We can own a grocery store, because we do have some businesses, but even the material that we need to sell in those stores are coming from the people in power. The white man. El Blanco. Go ahead. If we need food, yeah, exactly. They're not our people. They're the ones that run. Remember, the scriptures say, I will put you above all nations. But we're not above all nations. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
A yoke. You know what's a yoke of iron? Hey, let's get that one. Get that picture, Cap. Because it did happen to the indigenous tribes. If you look close, there's a yoke of iron on this brother's neck right here. But you probably know this infamous picture.
A yoke for cows.
Look at that. Because this is not only happening to the Hispanics, it also happened to the so-called blacks. We know about this picture. They don't put it in the school system no more. Read that part again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
This happened in the 1600s, Sammy. We read in the Bible.